Hey, it's Justin Popovich here, and I've got a fairly informal video here, unscripted, and I just put these slides together. I just wanted to share something with you that I thought you might find useful and give you some new ideas on how to use PLR. And it's actually kind of a candid look at something I'm working on in my own business, kind of my own project. It's in the development phases right now, and I thought there was a few different aspects of this that you could relate to, not just from a PLR perspective, excuse me, but from also just the perspective of taking action on ideas that you may be sitting on. And I'll explain all of that in just a minute. So what I'm going to be doing here is using some PLR to create an advice service. And I'll explain the advice service in a few moments. And effectively what I'm doing is I'm going to be combining some PLR content with my own custom content to build an irresistible offer. And I'll show you how all of this pieces together. But I want to kind of give you some background as to where I'm going with this. What am I doing here? What is this project all about? So I have a personal development blog that I started in 2008. So quite a while ago, when I first started my own business, actually, called Ignite Your Essence. And for a number of years, I blogged about various topics regarding personal development, staying motivated. That's a general passion of mine. I like to study a lot of mindset development style courses and tips and books because it's very beneficial for me. I find I can lose my motivation easily, or I can get thrown off course by self-doubt and all these different things that happen, especially when you're trying to build a business. You have to, at least in my opinion, you really have to work at keeping your mind sharp, keeping yourself positive, keeping yourself with a high level of energy so that you can keep taking action to build your business, and not even just for business, but for any endeavor in life, really. So with the Ignite Your Essence blog, I had originally built it as sort of a front end to sell coaching services, which is one of the earlier things I offered. I offered coaching services as well as motivational style speaking packages in the early days to places like universities and colleges, sometimes corporate events as well. And I would do things like goal setting workshops. And then what happened was, over the years, I kind of casually and randomly blogged about things that I wanted to talk about, but I never really put in the time to make it a successful blog, meaning it never really built up a huge readership, and never really had a huge following. The people that did read my posts really liked it, and you can see, you can kind of see it on the page there. Later on, you can go check out Ignite Your Essence. I built this, or I did this 100-day challenge where I created 100 consecutive days of motivational content. That was in the latter parts of 2013, kind of finishing off in early 2014. And that was sort of a challenge I developed for myself just to get back in the habit of developing motivational content, because it's something that I've always wanted to do, and again, I benefit from it. So I've realized, I've kind of accepted the fact that this is never really, at least I'm not prepared to make this a huge successful blog with thousands or hundreds of thousands of subscribers and readers. But it doesn't mean that I cannot monetize the idea of providing motivational content. So I've been thinking a lot about this recently, and I've been looking at this new direction. I've kind of put up on the screen here, at least at a high level, where I can still do a lot of this stuff. Rather than blogging about success tips or giving motivational advice to other people, I can provide custom advice for people like me who need daily inspiration to stay on track. So just to give you a bit of background, my daily routine, for the most part, is I get up extremely early in the morning, 3:30, 4 o'clock time frame. That's just what happens to work well for me and my schedule, with kids and fitness goals and all these other things. I like to spend a good hour at least in the mornings just reading, studying things that will get my mindset in the right place, maybe feel confident, have a high level of energy, remind myself of my goals, remind myself of where I'm trying to go, journal things that I need to be focusing on versus being aware of the kind of the thought patterns that pull me off track, self-doubt and all those other things I mentioned earlier. But for me, I know that I need this daily time. I need to make sure I invest in myself, for an hour or so every day. And I know there's a lot of other people like me. Not everybody needs this kind of thing. Not everybody wants to do this kind of thing. But there are many, many other people out there, particularly entrepreneurs, but not just entrepreneurs, athletes and executive corporate type people as well, and all kinds of other people, want and need this kind of thing where they don't feel right unless they spend some time every day kind of refreshing their mindset, revisiting their goals, and so on. And so I don't want to necessarily provide all this content in the form of a blog because I'm not prepared to do all the work that goes into building up a huge blog. But what I am prepared to do is create a website where I can attract people that are looking for this kind of thing, offer them some free stuff to get them hooked, right? And then have a paid upgrade for anybody that wants to take it that much further. So that's what I'm going to be doing here is I'll still have this Ignite Your Essence blog, and there's hundreds of blog posts in there that will continue to stay there. I'm not going to erase them, but I'm not going to be focusing on blogging. What I'm going to focus on, let me refresh my screen here, is I'm going to create 2 very particular touch points for people that may be interested in this stuff. And the first one's going to be, for now, I'm just going to call it the Ignite portal. I'm not sure what the final wording and branding is going to be on all this stuff, but I'm kind of laying this all out for you candidly in the development phases. So I'll have this Ignite portal where you can come to this website, but then there'll be a page where I'll have some kind of advertisement or lead generation thing that says, hey, are you looking for, personal development, success-based tips to stay motivated on a daily basis? Create your free account now and get, free ebooks and audiobooks and videos and all kinds of stuff. And all they have to do is kind of create their free account and off they go. So that's a great opportunity for me to be able to buy ads. And I mean, what's the risk for the person reading that ad? If they're into this kind of stuff, they'll probably sign up for a free account, which is a very good thing for me because then I'll have them in my system, right? I can obviously send them email marketing, not just marketing, but just email tips and stuff to make them, connect with me and read some of the advice that I want to offer them. But then I'm obviously going to need to monetize this at some point. So I'll create a secondary portal, which would be a premium upgrade. And what I'm looking at right now is having a $97 one-time fee, basically lifetime access to a larger library of content, more access to my own personal training and tips and advice. And then obviously if I have like a public offer of $97, I can do special offers like half price and things like that once people are on my list and going through my autoresponder sequences or going on maybe a webinar I do or whatever it may be down the road. So what I really like about this model personally, and this is just my own kind of historical background in dealing with a lot of this stuff, is I believe that people that get to this website and join the free portal will be far more likely to read my content than the people that were just hitting my blog and looking at that blog roll of information. I mean, I put together like 200 what I consider to be very valuable blog posts, and I had very little engagement on those, again, because I didn't put the effort into building my blog. But I also think there's a bit of a psychology there where it's like, it's all this free information on this guy's blog, I'll bookmark it and come back later. And I do get a decent number of opt-ins on that sidebar there, but none of it's really doing anything for me. Whereas now it's like, yeah, I'll have a bunch of free information there in the blog, but most of the interactions I'm going to be doing moving forward are going to be through the mailing list, people who sign up for the portal and then hopefully join the premium portal later on. And at the end of the day, all of this stuff that I'm going to be doing, like the premium access stuff, both portals are going to be filled with PLR content, but I'm also going to add my own stuff into it as well. But the best part of all of it is this is stuff I'm doing anyways. Every single morning I get up and I'm studying a new book. I'm writing I'm writing a set of plans or ideas for myself to help me stay focused for the next week. If I'm going to be doing all this work and writing instructions to myself to stay on track, why not share all of that in a portal that people can pay to get access to? Basically one-time payment to get all this stuff. And hopefully it saves them a bunch of time. They don't have to go out and, scour the net and buy their own books to get their daily inspiration. They can just join this portal and get all the stuff I'm doing anyways. So for me, it's cool because I'm monetizing an existing activity, and it's also something I really enjoy doing, and I know I'm going to be doing it every day anyways. So here's what I'm kind of planning for the long run here. The free portal will be some kind of page. I'm not even that concerned right now with how I'm going to structure this, like with memberships, scripts and all that. Just think of it as 2 pages. There's going to be a free portal, be loaded with all kinds of information. I picture the ad saying something like, download, 50 pieces of motivational content to, keep you inspired today for free or whatever. And then they get into that free portal and they get all this great stuff. And then obviously they'll see advertisements and upsells for the paid portal. And it'll be loaded with all this PLR. So you can see I've just took some screenshots or box covers from our Tools for Motivation catalog. And I'll put stuff like that in there. There'll be maybe like an audiobook on how to prioritize your day. Maybe I'll use one of the research reports. Hey, are you looking to learn? I just put a screenshot there, law of attraction, right? So let's say it's law of attraction. You're looking to learn more about this? Download this report and you'll see I've put together, 50 different blog posts that will let you read more about it. So lots of really useful information I don't have to do any work on because I've got all this great PLR, but the perceived value of that new free customer, right? They're created their free account on the Ignite Your Essence website. They're getting a lot of great value there. And obviously, because I'm doing this from a personal branding perspective, I don't want to have just PLR in there. So I've got lots of those blog posts I mentioned earlier. I can kind of repurpose a lot of that blog content and make it premium content in this free portal as well. So people are not just downloading PLR kits; they're also getting personalized advice from me. And then anytime I do want to promote that paid portal, then I can just insert ads in my mailers or right on that page. Right? I could have an ad right below, or maybe at the top and the bottom of that free portal that says, if you're liking all this, why don't you get access to hundreds of things, right? And that's the paid portal over on the right side, where I'll have full ebooks and courses from the Tools for Motivation catalog, as well as some of my own trainings that I've created in the past. I've got a bunch of stuff that I've never even used. I'm sure you're probably in this situation as well. If you've been in your industry, your niche for a long time, you probably created content where you had ideas of what you were going to do with it, and then you just kind of sat on it. It's like, oh, I never used it. Well, here's an example of how I can start putting that stuff that I built a long time ago into action, use it, make some money from it. And then at the end of the day, I'm going to have two lists. I'm going to have probably a much larger list on the left of people who created their free account, never took it any further. But I have a great audience there that will read my emails, probably more frequent than they read my blog posts, as an example. And then I'll have a sub list, a smaller list of people that are my customers here. And they're only paying once, but now I've got this really high quality list of people that have bought this portal, and I can promote other things. I can sell, paid webinar tickets. I can promote things. You can see where all of this could go. But all of this I'm doing all of this to basically monetize something that I've been sitting on. I've got this great blog. I've got content of my own. I've got good PLR content. And it's something I really enjoy doing. Why have I never taken action on this? It's just one of those things where I just haven't made the time for it. So I wanted to share this little kind of behind the scenes brain dump, really, as I build all of this. So I don't have any of the actual pages built yet, but I wanted to share it with you beforehand so you can see where my mind is going. Hopefully you can put two pieces together here. One, the fact that PLR can be used in very creative ways. And two, the fact that I have a lot of my own personal content. I have these web properties that I'm not really maximizing with just a little bit of effort, right? Creating probably one or two lead generation pages and a couple of pages here, a free portal and a paid portal. I can make some real strides here in my business. I can add a whole new line of revenue items here and increase my business. So hopefully you like what you see here. Maybe it gives you some ideas of how you can repackage or rebuild some of the stuff you've been working on. And I'll come back later on to kind of show you part two of this. Once I've built it out, you can see exactly what things are looking like and how that PLR plus my own stuff was kind of blended together. So hopefully you like it. Feel free to send me any questions. And I look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks.